that? Anybody see that in this magnified state? It don't look like comets. What the globe look like? Look at that. What is that? Say it again. That's how it looks. Right? What is that? Look at another picture of it. This is another way we understand the return of the feminine. 13 moons, 28 days. That's the suppression of the woman. The repression of the woman is 13 moons. That's why we follow 12-month calendar, because they suppress the woman. 12 months, right? 30 days here, 31 days there, maybe 29 leap year, right? Come on. The reason why it's so illogical, you got to learn a crazy folk rhyme just to remember how illogical it is. Y'all know what it is. Say it.
30 days past September, 8 June, and November. All the rest of 31.
Yeah, it's crazy. It doesn't even have a flow. It doesn't even go in it. Yeah, but y'all be like, yeah, okay, it makes sense. Because you're indoctrinated to believe that it makes sense. It don't make sense. You want to know about 13, 28 days? You want to find the missing moon? Just count all the days in excess of 28 days, and you'll find what the missing 13 moon is. Living your purpose, right? Got to go quickly now. The fluids give direction and purpose to the movement that is possible through the bones and muscles, blase. In the same way, our emotions express our spiritual intent, the power and ecstasy of that energy, and they give direction and purpose, soul, body, to our mental energy. Your multi-dimensional 5 bodies. I heard a lot of different expressions about the bodies, but we have more than one body. The way we teach it in terms of the science is 5 bodies that are crucial to your immediate self. And those 5 bodies are mental, your emotional, your spiritual, of course, your soul. That's 4, and then physical. The mental, emotional, spiritual, and soul is an acronym for what? Listen, you got up front, they go in the back. You in the front seat. You gotta pay attention. What is it, y'all? Speak up right in the back. Cheap seats. It's mess. The mess that our physical body is in the mental, emotional, spiritual, and soul. How we process things mentally, or emotionally, spiritually, because we're not on purpose, or our soul incarnation, because we're judging that. Brings us physical problems and dimension. We heal that through the 13 moon and 28 days. Because now you're getting acquainted with those bodies. How are you traveling through time? This is your vessel. We're on a vessel now, aren't we? How are you using your vessel? This is an example of what your vessel does. Yeah, it is 75% water. Because why? Because you have to navigate on the water. There's 139,685,000 square miles of water on this planet. That's right, y'all. Google. Right? 57,255,000 square miles of earth. Complete cycle. Lining up. The heavenly bodies are aligning. Y'all ready? Are you part of the heavenly body, or are you pure hell? Check out this photo journal. We know where we are in space out there, right? I think Brother Wayne alluded to this, toward the edge of the Milky Way galaxy. But where are we in time? Right? Let me say it slower, because I have a tendency to have my New York happen here. We know where we are in space out there toward the edge of the Milky Way galaxy. However, where are we in time? Look at that. Y'all don't know. Y'all probably don't think about this as being, this is your neighborhood, right? This is the neighborhood you live in. Right? If we can get galactic and get beyond the planetary, because you live in Queens and Harlem, and think about you living in Washington. If you can think about the larger neighborhood, you can expand your brain tremendously, because now you can get a chance to understand what all the yoga is about and the breathing is about. Breathing in the elements so you can get in alignment with what's about to happen. It's happening as we speak. So yeah, ready or not, here it comes. Right? Do y'all know these planets and where they are? Now, so I ask you, where is the sun going up and down? Something is setting and rising. It's servicing all these planets. So where's it going? Is it nighttime everywhere when it goes down and goes up? If it's servicing all these same planets that's lined up like it is? So we know that's an illusion. So if you get the sun back where it belongs, then you put the what? The woman back where she belongs. Right? No, because the sun, I'm sorry, because the sun is masculine. I forgot. The sun is hot and mad and bad. And that's masculine. The moon is the woman, right? She's soft, feminine, she's, fickle. Right? So that be that all of a sudden the moon becomes feminine and the sun becomes masculine. When the sun is what? Nurturing, warming, loving, always there, life-giving. Right? You want a paradigm shift? I know y'all want, well, come on, the sun is hot.
It looked like that old one we looked at.
Thank you. See? And thank you. You see the open, we see that's the sun. Right? That's the open. That's the feminine principle. The moon is what? Fickle. Right? How it work? The moon is there. Quarter of the time. He there, he show up in half the time. Her in half time, he's there sometimes 3/4 of the time. And when he's there full time, he won't get hold on, sis. And when he gets there full time, he won't get somebody pregnant. Because the full moon usually means that you're very fertile, right? Right? That's the fickleness. Yeah. Every galaxy has a moon, has its own moons. And it's necessary. But what we have been taught about the moon is what we are correcting. Because the moon is a masculine principle. And it is masculine principle, and men are cyclical too. You can't keep him, can't hold him down. Sometimes, he may wind up being with you, but most of the time he's elusive, like the moon is.
So then why do we follow 1328 calendar and say that gift in fact is a feminine principle if the moon is a masculine?
Because the feminine principle as the 13 moons is giving life force as the sperm does to the ovum to continue the process of the feminine principle, which is the sun.
It's the masculine principle.
It's the masculine principle. The sun is a feminine principle. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to get down. I'm just telling you what you've been thinking and believing all along is taking you out of realizing the power that you really had that shifted the feminine and suppressed it and removed the feminine from the power which she represents as the creatress of this galaxy, which is what? A feminine galaxy. The Milky Way. I ain't got no more coming out of nowhere.
Well.
I mean, not that not in this lifetime.
Well.
So I'm saying to you that the Milky Way is a feminine principle. She's the nurturer, the provider. I'm not saying anything negative and judging to get rid of the moon. The moon is necessary. But don't give it the power that it don't have. By saying that it's something that it ain't, by diminishing the power of the feminine, by saying that it's just the moon second to the sun. Nah. The moon is what? It's dependent upon the energy of the sun. Now, how many women are really dependent on the energy of men? Really, for real. This is the truth. How many women need men to give birth and life to the manifestation that she knows that she can? Only thing that he provides is the sperm, for that matter. And then she does the rest, right? Clearly, her body is made to do that. Biologically, she gives birth and she manifests the life. She nurtures it. She bonds with it. She tells it everything that she thinks and believes and what she feels about everything. He don't get all that. Men don't even get all that. But it gets it by virtue of it being in your womb. I'm just reminding you that the power lays within the womb. And when it lies in the womb, how do you use that power? Because at the end of the day, you don't have to let nobody decide for you in a patriarchal system what you're going to do, whether you're going to have the baby or not. Whether you're going to have, the pro-life or what? You got the power to develop life forms. Can you imagine the power that's given? Could you? That's a power nobody else can even claim.
The darkness of the universe.
The darkness of the universe, okay? Yes.
I was just going to support what you were saying about that based on what I remember reading on an ancient, well not ancient, but a very old Adinkra symbol chart. Mm-hmm. And for the symbol Oshrani in Sroma, which is a star and a crescent, simply is the sun and moon. The original one, this very, very old chart said, the sun always waits for her mate, the moon, to
That's
return.
right. The language is there.
And then the more modern ones have it flipped around.
Oh yeah, they flipped it. They flipped it because it's a point to flip it. Because now you can think about masculinity or male dominance as something that seems to be real. It's an illusion. And rightly so. That's just a biological nature of what things are, and then we have to give back that power so we can all get back in order. And, see, women bring everything into order. They don't come along and say we are now different and men don't exist. Only men say women don't exist and not important. See, that's the difference between women and men. That's why I said where there's man, there's no woman. Where there's man, there goes woman. Right? Where there's woman, there's man, rather.
Right, exactly.
Right? When there's he, there's no she. When there's she, there goes he, right? Right? When there's male, there's no female. When there's female, there goes what? It's all connected, right? When there's her, right? He's there.
Right.
Because he's always inclusive. She always makes sure. She's always home. She stays home. She stays focused. The son is always, the mother's always there. Taking care of home. Larger context. Not trying to be feminist. And that's where we be. That's where we've been in our. We've been in our own indoctrination. This is how we think. This is the split of. This is the brain issue that Brother Wayne was talking about earlier. The left and right sides. We're thinking about things in a way that's come from our data, and we begin to think about it in a masculine sense because now we're projecting things to try to see if we can get some answers based on what we studied and learned and what we got in our books, as opposed to what our intuition or natural telepathy would tell us by understanding that things are in this natural sense always inclusive as a feminine principle. And I'm saying to you, when you got that down, then you recognize the different roles that are being played in the larger galaxy. So I'm saying to you, it may right now, I'm not telling you to believe what I'm saying. I'm not telling you that what I say is bond. You have to come to understand the power of the principle so you can get back in tune with nature. Because how many of us really do study nature? We don't. We don't study nature. We just enjoy it and experience it. And then sometimes do poems about it. But we don't really take time to study the behavior and the patterns that give you an understanding of how you can relate principles so you can understand that things are immutable. Laws that are immutable, you can study and you can see and take time. And now that I said that to you, and it's creating maybe a little confusion, because that's what happens, with different knowledge. New knowledge, maybe, if you will. It always creates that chemistry in our brain. It's like, well, wait a minute, something about that's not really coming clear. Not saying that you're ignorant or stupid. Just that you're not really being able to process it in your brain now, in your brain cavity, in your chemistry, because it's not really jiving in what you already know. And come to what? Stand by. And also proliferate and profess. And I'm saying to you, that's the professor in you, right? I'm just saying to you that you have to take time to take what I'm telling you, and if it doesn't work for you and you feel that it won't change, you can still think that the sun is what it is. I'm not telling you to follow me. I'm saying to you that consider. And you'll see that the energy of which I'm speaking to does not talk about when we get out of gender, your agenda was mostly hidden. About getting to know exactly what you still stand strong by. I'm not talking about gender, your agenda. Don't get it confused. We're talking about principles that are in place.